happens when a nation of 120 million is locked away from the sea? What if the rivers that quench your thirst, the power that lights your homes, and the soldiers who protect your peace come from a country denied its rightful place by the shore? This is not just a story about trade or ports. It's a cry for justice.
ዓለም ዛሬ ይስማ የቀይ ባህር አክሰስ ሰላማዊ በሆነ መንገድ ኢትዮጵያ ያስፈልጋል። 120 ሚሊዮን ህዝብ መቆለፍ ነውር ነው። ወይኛ ወይ ልጆቻችን ያሳኩታል ጥርጣሬ ነው።
Way good, fam. Welcome to Semonigna Spotlight, where we amplify stories that echo across borders. Today, we shine that spotlight on Ethiopia, a giver to the region, yet denied its due. This is Ethiopia's quest for the Red Sea, the injustice of a landlocked nation. Ethiopia, one of Africa's economic powerhouses with a population surpassing 120 million, suffocates without sea access. Since Eritrea's independence in 1993, Ethiopia has relied on foreign ports, primarily Djibouti, for 95% of its trade. This dependency inflates costs, hampers growth, and compromises sovereignty. 120 million dreams tethered to foreign whims, an economy burdened by port fees, a future held hostage. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed calls sea access existential,
ይሄ ለኢትዮጵያ የኤግዚስተንስ ጉዳይ ነው፣ ቅብጠት አይደለም።
tying Ethiopia's survival to the Red Sea as much as the Nile. Yet neighbors form alliances to block this right, and the world stays silent. This is not merely a geographic loss, it's a denial of justice, the historical regret of losing Assab. Ethiopia's Red Sea connection is a birthright, not a fantasy. For centuries, the port of Assab, now in Eritrea, was Ethiopia's gateway to the world. Under Emperor Haile Selassie, Assab bustled, linking Ethiopia to global trade. But Eritrea's 1993 secession severed this lifeline, leaving Ethiopia landlocked. The 1998 to 2000 Ethiopia-Eritrea War cemented Assab's loss, its docks rusting as Ethiopia turned to Djibouti. This loss haunts Ethiopians, a regret for a time when their flag flew over Red Sea shores. Denying this history erases Ethiopia's identity as a maritime nation. A claim rooted in fairness? Ethiopia's seaport claim is grounded in fairness, reflecting its contributions to the Horn of Africa. Water, Ethiopia is the region's lifeblood. The Blue Nile feeds Sudan and Egypt, the Tekeze, Eritrea, the Barrow South Sudan, the Omo, Kenya, and the Ganale Dawa, Somalia. Ethiopia receives no water in return, yet supplies clean water to Djibouti. Electricity. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, GERD, can power Sudan and Djibouti with potential for Eritrea, fostering regional prosperity. Peacekeeping. Ethiopia leads Africa, UN and AU peacekeeping, stabilizing Somalia and South Sudan. Economic support. Ethiopia's trade through Djibouti, handling over 80% of its imports and exports, sustains Djibouti's economy with hefty port fees. Yet when Ethiopia seeks a port, neighbors recoil. Why? Fear, greed, and geopolitics drive their resistance. Neighbors' opposition, a united front. Eritrea, Somalia, and Djibouti have united against Ethiopia's seaport ambitions, prioritizing self-interest over fairness. Eritrea. Eritrea sees Ethiopia's claim to Assab as a sovereignty threat. Despite a 2018 peace deal, President Isaias Afwerki rejected Abiy's 2023 port proposal as excessive, wary of Ethiopia's influence in supporting rebels in Tigray and Amhara. Somalia. Somalia opposes Ethiopia's 2024 Somaliland MOU, leasing 20 kilometers of coast for commercial and military use. President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed claims it violates sovereignty, though Somalia lacks control over Somaliland. Backed by Egypt and Eritrea, Somalia fears Ethiopia's naval ambitions. Djibouti. Djibouti, profiting from Ethiopia's trade, dreads losing revenue if Ethiopia shifts to Berbera or Assab. Its Chinese-backed ports align with Beijing's Red Sea interests, countering Ethiopia's plans. This alliance reflects power dynamics. Neighbors fear Ethiopia's 120 million strong population, growing economy, and military might. Egypt, opposing the GERD, and Eritrea bolster Somalia. While even Al-Shabaab condemned the Somaliland deal, neighbors accept Ethiopia's water, power, and peacekeepers, but refuse to share the sea, a glaring hypocrisy. Pathways to the sea. Ethiopia's quest for Red Sea access is a necessity, not a dream. 4 pathways offer hope, each with challenges. Diplomacy, the path of peace. Diplomacy is Ethiopia's best hope. Prime Minister Abiy's softened rhetoric emphasizes dialogue. Somalia's Foreign Minister Ali Omar has signaled openness to commercial port access if Ethiopia respects international law. The 2018 Eritrea-Somalia-Ethiopia agreement, though stalled, provides a framework. Ethiopia could renegotiate the 2017 Berbera deal with Somaliland, avoiding Somalia's ire. Offer Eritrea GERD electricity for Assab access. Expand Kenya's LAPSSET corridor to Lamu Port, a neutral option. Diplomacy demands trust, which Ethiopia must rebuild by addressing sovereignty concerns. Military and economic influence, a risky move. Ethiopia's military, despite losses in Tigray, remains potent. Economic leverage from GERD exports adds weight. Troop movements near Eritrea in 2023 showed strength, but war risks destabilizing the region. Prime Minister Abiy's peace credentials and Ethiopia's strained economy limit this option. Economic investments in regional infrastructure could sway neighbors, but payment delays, like in the Berbera deal, weaken credibility. A canal going to the mountain. The Amharic proverb, "If the mountain doesn't come to you, go to the mountain," inspires a bold idea. A canal from the Red Sea through Eritrea to Ethiopia. Yet it's impractical. Geography. Eritrea's coast is 60 kilometers away with rugged terrain. Politics. Eritrea would see this as aggression, risking conflict. Cost. Billions in construction costs exceed Ethiopia's capacity. Environment. Seawater diversion could harm ecosystems. A canal requires Eritrea's consent, making diplomacy essential. Regional integration, a collaborative future. Ethiopia could lease ports, Assab, Berbera, or Lamu, offering neighbors GERD power or trade partnerships. The 2018 Eritrea deal promised Assab access, but progress stalled. Investing in Djibouti's ports or joining the EU's Horn of Africa, Global Gateway could secure favorable terms, fostering a unified economic bloc, a global call for justice. Ethiopia's cry echoes globally. A nation that waters its neighbors, powers their homes, and secures their peace deserves Red Sea access. Denying 120 million people this right is a global shame. The loss of Assab, the fairness of Ethiopia's claim, and neighbors' hypocrisy demand action. Ethiopia is no beggar. It's a giver. Its rivers flowing freely. Its soldiers bringing peace. We urge the world, support Ethiopia's right to the sea. Back dialogue with Eritrea, Somalia, and Djibouti. Fund projects like LAPSSET. Uphold landlocked nations' rights under international law. Ethiopia's quest is no threat. It's a call for equity, unlocking a nation's potential. Let Ethiopia no longer be a locked nation. Open the Red Sea's gates, for Ethiopia's freedom lifts the Horn of Africa. The world watches. Will you stand for justice? Thank you for watching this episode of Semonigna Spotlight. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe. Let the world hear Ethiopia's cry for justice. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should Ethiopia gain sea access? Until next time, stay awake, stay informed, and stay connected.
ዓለም ዛሬ ይስማ። የቀይ ባህር አክሰስ ሰላማዊ በሆነ መንገድ ኢትዮጵያ ያስፈልጋል። 120 ሚሊዮን ህዝብ መቆለፍ ነውር ነው። ወይኛ ወይ ልጆቻችን ያሳኩታል። ጥርጣሬ የለውም።